How's it going, YouTube, or everyone, whoever's watching? TRD Adventures again, coming at you. So, also had some extra time, so I decided to knock out another video real quick. What we've been doing recently, doing some video breakdowns over the G-Speed competition rigs. I do have we'll have some videos, some running videos coming. Hopefully get those shot this weekend, and hopefully try to put together maybe Sunday night. Get some running videos of the crawlers out, either the actual comp rigs going and some trail videos. But in the meantime, also decided to knock out a video just going over some of the new additions to the fleet here. Maybe a couple just small quick reviews. I'll probably do touch base a little bit on the Vanquishes, but I'd like to do a full in-depth video on both of those. So first things first, we'll start here. One time we did originally have a Capra quite a while ago, but I took the axles out of it. It went to this truck here. Then I threw some stock SCX-10 axles under it and let the kiddo have it. And he had a blast. We ended up parting ways with it, and I ended up getting a Bomber. Raced with it, did some rock racing with it, but kiddo was needing something more class 3-ish, and just something a little more crazy looking crawler. So I traded my Bomber away and picked up this Capra, which was very, very nicely built. Had a lot of good stuff on it. I've only had to do a few things here and there. So got the Capra. So what do we look around here? We do have the Holmes Hobby, the Crawlmaster 30-tooth 30T motor, brush motor with the Holmes Hobby ESC, which is a very amazing smooth combo, awesome ESC. It's the first time actually just using that ESC, and I enjoy it a lot. Then got rid of the Capra shocks. Are notoriously long. The Capra is top heavy and awkward. So one of the first things we did on the last Capra, and one thing I recommend with any Capra in general, lowering the shocks, doing something. So these have Proline Scalar shocks, 90 millimeters. So these are honestly much smoother. No issues leaking like, say, a normal axial shock. Let's do a quick look around what all we have here. And then performance-wise in the front, these as well have the Capra or the Team Garage Hack Wild overdrive gears in the front, so 36%. So when he wants to actually get out and crawl, we use those. But those with as easy as these portals are, with just the 4 bolts on each side, when we're going for extended crawls, like we're going to this weekend, I'll do this after the video. We're gonna pull the wheels off and just swap out the overdrive gears for the stock ratio gears. That way he can just get some extended crawl time and stuff in it. Then we have Beef Tubes brass portal covers. Then we have a brass servo mount and a Reefs RC servo. The 444. I forgot what it was. Sorry, I can't read it. Yeah, the 444 steering servo. Awesome servo. Plenty of power. The response time is fantastic. No issues with it. I really, really like the servo. Kind of jealous he has it on his, but it is what it is. Front bumper, I didn't even know they had options. I was just scrolling around one day and I saw a Capra front bumper. It's actually a KYX. It was like $25, so I picked it up, and it was actually easy install, good fit, and just kind of gives it something else there on the front, which is awesome. So enjoy that. Awesome that. Stock links. Not really sure if we want to change any of that out. Everything else, I mean, it works really good for him. Dig is engaged. All tuned in good. I believe it is still. I believe it is a, yeah, it is a Spectrum microserver in there. 1.9 B-locks with Voodoo KLRs, gold compound with Proline dual stage foams. They just actually seem to work really good with the Capra with the light, and it seems to work really good. Normally not my typical foam choice for these tires, but for this they do work good. or he just seems more comfortable driving with it. We do have the Super Shafty Capra rear link riser here, which is an amazing upgrade too. Also, if you're Capra, I do recommend that. Had it this Capra, and before I went rear steer in my V3 Capra build, I had the link riser as well. I'm sure it's in here somewhere, but we'll worry about that later. Very, very awesome upgrade. Exterior wise, a little bit, we got pulled the plastic panels off, and we got the Spare Times Hobbies 3D printed panels. And for the price wise, was awesome. I think it was like $12, $14 with shipping, something like that. They come several different. I think they have 2 styles for every panel. Or if you have access to a 3D printer, you can buy the files and print them yourself, which is awesome. So if a panel does break, I purchased them, and then I saw that you could actually print the file. So if one breaks, I'll just simply purchase the file, get a replacement printed. But I will do that only because I already did do them, and I'll just be printing a replacement if needed. And also printed off this little roof rack here that goes in the front. Just a few little scale things. He's got some ladders up there. That back here in the rear, there is an engine-ish something. Just give him a little fun. So that was actually a servo cover that on the Vanquish, and I took a pretty good hit in the front. It actually cracked one of the mounts back there. So when I was pulling it off and getting a new one, while a new one was printing, I was sitting there looking, I was like, if I just trim a little bit, and I think it will fit, and it did. It fit the way this was printed, and the file is Vanquish servo cover. It's on Thingiverse, and it actually, it's a twin turbo. It comes out there. So what I did was just simply snap those off, and did a slight trimming on the back where it would snap around the receiver cover, and it actually sets perfectly in between the rails and sets right on top of the servo cover. So I just adhered that down to the receiver box. Just adhere that to the receiver box, and it actually fit in there good. I mean, it still says Vanquish, but it's whatever. And then I also had the SSD headers printed, and then flipped them backwards, or flipped them from side to side, and went on there, and then came around the cage. So just something a little different, something a little cool for him. He really liked it. He likes the bright colors. He likes that back there. So he thought that was super cool. So actually getting him back to a Capra, he was super excited about that. Then just a quick one in here. Got this as a birthday present. Was a Raycat the Wendigo. He's had it since August, and he drives the crap out of him, and he does not necessarily take it easy. Not a single one broken thing. And the steering servo went out the first weekend, but swapped it out that weekend right there. Out playing, haven't anything issues in it. It is broken. Nothing. No axles are broken. No mounts are broken. Even the stock plastic sway bar hasn't broken. No issues whatsoever. Now, mind you, it does have a very aggressive brushless system in it. He tried it that weekend. We wanted to do more crawling with it, so we pulled that brushless system out. I think it's a 3300 kV brushless system. Very similar. I think it is a Hobbywing Max 10, rebranded. So pulled it out. We went with a good old-fashioned Hobbywing 1080 ESC with the newer Holmes Crawlmaster Sport 8T 550 8T motor, and had to geared it down a little bit, but the 8T motor is pretty awesome. So he still has that brush for low end control, so he can actually crawl with it, and it is an AT, so it still has get up and go. When he wants to hit it, it will move. Tire wise, we do have the RC 4-wheel drive Mudslingers on here on 2.2s. I think it actually just fits the build very well. And he likes it all. This is just a good overall trail truck or night run type truck we want to do. So that's been pretty good. Also, don't really have any idea how we managed to get this But we did pick up an SMT10, so don't have any plans for it, but he seems to drive it. He likes it. It's just something he can almost bash around a little bit with, for the most part. So that one's on. Just another fun little backup truck. We already had the Traxxas 6x TRX6. Then we added the Axial 6x6 as well. And again, just embrace the almost GOAT status of the 6x6s and their abilities. This one's looking pretty good. The scale accessories, we have the SSD 1.9 wagon wheel beadlocks on here, wrapped with Voodoo KLRMs and gold compound. Everything else actually is still stock motor. It is still a stock servo. This is just one we use for trailing and night runs, because we do have the big bright Proline light bar up here in the front. Scale accessories, headlights, taillights. So nothing too crazy with that one. It's just a good looking, fun truck drive around. Now we'll be getting some things here soon. G-Speed 6x6 chassis is arriving. I think it is and almost through testing and starting to get made. So as soon as that is available, that will be getting a full upgrades. That will be getting the chassis, new electronics all the way through. Honestly stay brushed with that one, just because we do trail with it a lot, and just kind of simpler, because that's an everyone drive vehicle. Then quick little fun one here that I got. So when I got the opportunity for the G-Speed driver, one thing I do enjoy is just simply building the rigs. And I really like the V1 C1 chassis. So I got one coming, and then about the time the SSD Trail King kit took that huge price drop down to like $320, and I really liked the Trail King kit, the way it looked with the Ford motor, the transmission, the engine, all that stuff. So I got the Trail King, and I ordered the V1 chassis for it because it is SCX based, so is the Trail King. So everything bolted up quite perfectly. And this is probably my go-to, just put a battery in it and go drive truck. It was supposed to be more of kind of shelf queen, look good status, but the performance can't go unnoted. This is probably was not intended at all for this to be to perform or do anything like it does. But this is probably my best. Just all the weights down low with that forward transmission, just the way everything set together with this transmission, with the V1 chassis. So everything went great. And so the engine is part of the SSD Trail King kit. And we got the header files off of Thingiverse for the SSD. Also got a intake printer for it. We got a 3D printed MSD ignition over here. Ran some spark plug wires, just mostly, I know they're not even nowhere near the correct order, but it's just something a little feature. Servo cover. Here the servo is mounted right up here in the front, but also in those files for the SSD on Thingiverse is a radiator slash cooling fan combo that just simply slides over the servo and hides it. And then picked an appropriate grill for the front. A little hose work, just again, just a small touch of detail and some scaleness. So did that. Body, this is the 3D printed hot rod body off Thingiverse as well. For Theron, spent a good amount of time 3D printing this for me. This is printed out of carbon fiber. And then I was rocking the black for a long time, but decided I wanted to change it up, so I went with a nice gunmetal, but I did leave the black raw carbon. Bed here is an IERC shorty flatbed, and it just, even the tires do stick out past the bed, and the angles up front are pretty good. This thing just kind of gives it that cool hot rod off-road kind of theme I was going with here, which worked great. Back of the body there, this is the PowerShift RC brake light buckets. Inside got a nice little twin hammers interior, just fit in there nicely, nice and perfect, and everything electronic wise fit in there nice and perfect too. Just pull the roof off and everything's just tucked in there along the side of the body. Again, we're running Desert Lizard 90mm shocks, front and rear. In the rear we do run the ones with the reservoir. Mostly I just wanted just a kind of scale realism. I wanted those remote reservoirs in the back and some scale accessories, but just the truck itself, the SSD Trail King kit, went together smoothly. The instructions were good, easy to follow. The links out of the box were titanium. Comes with metal drive shafts. Already comes with metal C-hubs and knuckles for the front there. The rear is plastic housing. All the hardware's great. The transmission went together, and it is that nice forward motor mount, so it really pushes it forward. I've had no problems with it. It's been an amazing kit. Wheels, Vanquish Method 1.9s. With again, these are Voodoo KLRMs in red, and I guess one of the cool features that this one kind of has is I found these nifty little bead locks with, of course, Dancing Lady. I actually found them online just browsing around one day. They are Boom Racing bead locks. I found they were only like 25 bucks, but I was just like, just the theme of this, it just had to be something like that. So that's what I chose for this one. And it's, like I said, this is honestly probably one of my most driven, most go-to builds. So I don't always just want to drive the comp vehicles everywhere. Sometimes they crawl too good and it can just get kind of boring, but that thing is still beyond capable. Side hill performance and stuff of that for no true performance upgrades, no overdrive or anything crazy, no additional weight, just the SSD Trail King kit and a G-Speed, amazing chassis put together, and voila. It's driven a lot for with the lights. I can drive it at nighttime, drive it during the daytime, everything like that. I will actually locally, I will probably do a couple comps with that this next year, just to have some fun with it. In the meantime, also crawler wise, two big additions. We did pick up a VS410 Ultra and a VS410 Pro. We picked up the Ultra first through a very extensive trade, and love it. Finally bit the bullet. Probably should have got a Vanquish kit a long time ago. Just everything about it was awesome. Fortunately, the Ultra was already assembled when I got the trade through the trade. But I've done a few things to it. One with 90mm shocks. Got the IERC shock towers. Front bumper, electronics. Went through, changed all that out. But then we liked it enough, I had to build one, so we got the Pro. And again, just super amazing. Another very fun kit to put together. If it's in there, I know it has the price and everything to go with it, but I definitely would recommend a Vanquish VS410. Here now that I have the Pro and the Ultra, I'm actually kind of have a little personal quest. I am kind of searching for an Origin out there, so I am looking to get that here at some point. But I do want to do a more in-depth video over both of these, just because there is a lot to cover between these two vehicles. Boom. So like I said, I do want to get some running video with just the two of them, and just do a more in-depth look at both those vehicles. And other than that, we did do some changes with some bashers. I know we had one of the last videos we had the Limitless and the Max, and I think the Kraton 6S, and we had just gotten a Mojave. All of those are gone. The Limitless was a blast. I think I ended up, my personal best ended up being 112 miles an hour, which was plenty for me because it was a whole nother rabbit hole of going down to keep bumping up. And as fun as it was, I just didn't have and the time for just going out, doing my speed runs, going down. And, it was, maybe 30 minutes out of a weekend, I'd go out, run through my battery packs, get my speeds up, and go. So ended up moving on from that, picked up, that was a pretty extensive trade too. That was for another couple cars. The Creighton and the Mojave ended up disappearing again. Through some trades also for some of these. And then, but since then, so for a while I was actually no speed cars and no bashers for a while. But now that the crawlers and everything are kind of where they were, I wanted to get back into it. So we picked up the X-Max. We got, when I was going back and I was like, if I'm going to get one, I'm going to get the basher. So I was really torn between the X-Max and the Creighton or Outcast 8S. And when it finally came down to it and local guys kind of helped push that decision, we went with X-Max and couldn't be more than happier. I will do a video on it by itself too as well. And then we did another crawler trade. We ended up getting Mojave 6S again, but it was a little too much for the little one to drive around. He liked it, but he wanted to do more. He wanted more jumping, flipping action with it, and we could have just changed out a few arms. It was just simple. And our other guys, he was looking exactly for Mojave, so we just traded the Mojave for Outcast 6S. And he is ecstatic. We went out this weekend, bashed out. I broke some gears. He had fun. So we'll get some videos maybe this weekend too, depending on how the weather is. We have some snow apparently moving in here tonight, so we'll see how that goes. But like I said, we'll be doing some running videos this weekend. Get a couple running videos going, so it's not just me babbling on, but then we'll be some more babbling. I'm going to go over in depth on both the Vanquishes, and then we'll do some with the X-Max because I'm having a blast getting that project going. Till next time.